Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Harris, Trump, frustration, and confusion. So the debate happened. It went about as expected. There were a lot of promises. There were a lot of sidestepped questions. There were certainly a lot of things that would often be called less than accurate on the channel in the past. Then there were things that were out and out lies. Ones so bad, the moderators had to provide immediate fact checks, and some that definitely needed to be gone over in detail that weren't given that immediate treatment. We'll go over those this week and add the context to the claims. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you do. Don't just watch out of context clips on your favorite show. Don't just listen to fact checks, but sit down and watch the whole thing in its entirety. Decide for yourself who you think deserves to sit at the Resolute desk. But for a quick summary, it went as expected. She prodded him early and showed how easily he can be thrown off balance. She did bring up those in his administration who wouldn't endorse him. He tried to stick to his talking points, but got a little rambly. It was as we all thought it would go, with two key differences. Frustration and confusion were very present. There were times that Harris seemed frustrated, not because of her performance, but because of Trump's. Harris clearly wanted to discuss policies and plans. It seemed like deep down, she wanted to just lay out the competing visions of the future and let the voters decide. She didn't really get that opportunity. Trump would provide a campaign promise and then no details. When pressed for details by the moderators, he would deflect. I'm not joking that the man talked about replacing Obamacare again with something better, and when asked for details, he said something like, "You'll be hearing about it in the not-too-distant future." We've been waiting for the plan for, 9 years? There were times when he was speaking, and her facial expressions in the split screen almost seemed like she felt bad for him, at first. As he got more angry and started making more wild claims, that faded and the expression changed more to disgust. When you're watching this, you can see it really start to begin around the time he claimed that Democrats want post-birth abortions. That was immediately fact-checked by moderators. It seemed to completely disappear by the time he yelled, "They're eating dogs." The moderators provided an immediate fact check, and Trump claimed he saw it on TV. Yes, if you didn't watch it, Trump claimed Democrats want abortions after birth and repeated claims about immigrants eating dogs. That's where the GOP is right now. Harris, for her part, did seem to get tired of the random claims and lack of focus on policy, seeming almost exhausted at one point, saying something along the lines of, "Let's talk about our plans." Her only real mess-up was not fully providing an answer to a question about values and positions. It'll probably be what Republicans try to use as a line of attack. For Trump's part, it was confusion that was apparent. From saying things that were so far removed from reality that the moderators felt the need to immediately fact-check him, to needing to remind him of the question he failed to even remotely answer, to at one point Harris reminding Trump who he was running against, somewhat sarcastically as he rambled about Biden. He dodged questions on how he would fulfill his promise to end the war in Ukraine. He didn't seem to understand how tariffs raise prices. He denied he lost the last election. He dodged a question on his position on vetoing a national abortion ban. Don't worry, ladies, more to come on that later. And just a giant list of other things. In their closings, Harris tried to ease her frustration by outlining a few specific policies and then talking about the idea of representing all Americans. Trump tried to strawman her beliefs and then said we would end up in World War III. There are tons of other bits that were very revealing, and we'll talk about them as the week goes on, because the debate will be a major part of the news cycle for a while, as both sides try to say their team won. Again, watch the whole debate for yourself. Don't let people choose what you get to see. Don't let commentary tell you who won. It's also important to remember that debates like this aren't about winning an argument. They're about presenting ideas to the American people. Watch it for yourself and determine which America you want to see in the future. One American, Taylor Swift, endorsed Harris shortly after the debate. There will be more on the debate coming. If you have a specific question, please drop it below in the comments. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.